All right. Maybe. I think we're live. Welcome, everybody. Back to another exciting week of Osborne Motors Endurance Challenge. Week number 7. I'm back in the booth. It's been a solid 2 weeks of con cred for me. But Fen Acinni once again alongside Nicholas Maynard, who's doing all the cool production side for me as well. How are you doing today?
I am pretty good. Much better having you back. It was lonely. It was terrifying, but I only cried a little bit.
I think you survived quite well.
Yeah, we got through it. I came back, so I guess it couldn't have been too
bad. Fair enough.
How are you?
Doing quite well. Happy to be in the booth and talking about cars at one of my favorite tracks. I think we don't go to very often in the iRacing circuit in general. Super excited to see the Portimao 1,000 kilometers show up here last year. Excited to see it make a return this year. But Algarve going to be, I think, one of my favorites of the season, at least for this season. So, yeah. Are you a big fan? Not a big fan? What are your thoughts on Portimao?
It is my top 2. Definitely one of my favorites. I enjoy it. I'm bummed I'm not racing it tonight. And I love this place.
It is quite a fun ride. I love the elevation change, all the tight technical nature of the various styles of hairpins that they managed to shove into one track. And gives such a good reference point for so many different ways you can take hairpins over the course of a full lap here. 7 minutes left in qualifying. We'll have 90 minutes of racing action here coming up in just a moment. What else we talk about? We haven't talked about points in a while.
Yeah, that. Yeah, absolutely. That was one thing that I was unable to get to last week, so get to it this week. Yeah, so we got Zachary Holden, 404 points right now, leading the way over Tom Leeson in second, Hayden Maminga in third. Pretty close battle there. A lot of points up for grabs every race, so that could go either way. Trevor Peterson, 4th. Dale Marshall, 5th. Keith Gwinnett has had some strong showings lately, but unfortunately had some bad luck in some of them, so he's down in 6th. Charles Rotes, Wesley Woods, Jared Petit, Christopher Gardner round out your top 10, and then with not as many races on the schedule, Landon Orr, Robert Myers, Tyler Thomas, Daryl Weininger, Caleb Rodrigue? How did we figure that one out? Rodrigue. and Richard Costanza hit us with one race. So he's down there in 16th. Oh, we got more. Adam Dahl, James Carlon, Ben Giedenhuis, Grayson Parks, and Ken Duvall. Oh, goodness. Okay, yeah. We got Nick Tyrrell leading the way over Nate Sides. Those two guys have been battling it out all season. And Kevin Hayes chomping at the bit right there in 3rd. So top 3, very, very tight. Anybody can take this one down. So it's going to be fun to watch. Michael Doyen, Josh King, Sergey Perot, Tim Schaefer, Tony Caicedo, Dan Griffin, and Jim Campbell round out the top 10. And then we got William Lemaster, Giuseppe Vizzolo, Joseph Evans, Tyler Roberts, Gage Hyams, who's made some strong appearances, 3 for 3. I don't think he's here tonight, though. Luke Plaisance, Matt Markley, Casey Jones, Andrew Slovak. Man, a lot of pro drivers here. Kelvin Collado, John Schwartz, Aaron Myers, Mitch Buenaventura, Alex Patterson, Matthew Fisher, Alex Lofa, Nicholas Maynard, he should be struck from the record. Ben Widener, Michael Cannon, Brody Wallace, and Leo Kurtz rounded out.
That they do. I think the interesting part to keep in mind on the GT3 Pro division on who's at the top after 6 races with 2 more to go is that the point difference is literally solved by safety rating alone. those safety points don't go away regardless if they're drop weeks or not. And given that they are, with Nick Tyrrell having 9 safety points, that puts him ahead of the other 2 drivers in safety point bonuses versus the 4 and 5 of Nate Sides as well as Kevin Hayes. So this battle, it's already very close. It would be even closer if the safety bonus was equal across all 3 of them.
That has shades of last season between Dan and myself.
It does.
Like, safety bonus played a big
it
deal.
certainly does.
It pays to drive safe.
That it does, for sure. Drive safe and fast is always the key part of that.
Is that the key to the race tonight? Drive fast and safe.
I think it's a key to pretty much any race is to drive safe and fast. I would say it probably is no exception here, especially given the nature of the off tracks are pretty unforgiving once you run the tires just past the white line on the outside. You can use the curbing for most of it, but you have to keep at least 2 tires into the curbing. Otherwise, it will count you as a 1X. So one of the lesser forgiving tracks, especially when if you're anywhere besides the red and white, curbing on the exits of a lot of these corners.
Yeah, there's some sneaky ones out here, especially once the tires start to get a little overheated and you start not having as much traction. They add up quickly.
That they do. Dan Griffin setting the fastest lap amongst all that as well at 141.691. Just a couple tenths ahead of Andrew Slovak. And the grid all separated pretty much by a couple tenths down to 6th and 7th in the pro category. With Zachary leading off GT3 AM is going to be pretty interesting as he sits in 7th overall. With a few pros intermixed with that AM category. It's a pretty nice split of drivers, 19 out on track at the moment. I think that's where we'll probably end up with these drivers. There's only a couple minutes left of qualifying. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I wish I was driving. Nah, I don't know. Portimao always has some good racing. There's some good passing opportunities. There's some tricky corners where people, you could make a mistake and kind of take advantage of someone. So I think we're going to see an exciting race, some good battles, perhaps a little carnage, but we'll see.
That we certainly will. Dan Griffin looks like he's trying to improve on his best this most recent time by as well. With at 141.6, 2 more purple sectors, but a very slow 3rd sector means that he ends up only improving by 2 tenths to make it a 141.418. Fantastic job there. A couple more drivers still trying to improve their times as well. Jonathan Schwartz, Trevor Peterson amongst them. I think something I want to ask you as well that I think would be fun to dive into just for a brief moment as we get in the end of qualifying here is how many drivers do you think will spin on that uphill turn number 4, that left-hander after the first hairpin over the course of the race? The drivers in the party chat were taking bets earlier on how many there would be, and I think the consensus generally is about 3 or 4. What is your thought?
Man, good question. Good hard question here. I'm gonna take the under on that.
You're gonna be less than 3 and 4?
Yes.
Okay.
I
was
have
over.
faith.
I'm thinking closer to 6. I do not have faith.
That's a little bit wide there for. Oh, don't wreck your car.
I think he knew that lap was not going to get any faster, despite his attempts.
Trevor Peterson left on track.
Yeah, last one here. Trying to get improvement on his time.
Does not do it.
Very nicely done.
Oh, did he?
Well, improves his personal time. He does not improve anywhere in the order. He's still about, I think, a couple tenths behind Jim Campbell, who was in 13th overall, and a whole like second behind the next driver, Am. So
Yeah, I was looking at the sector times. He had 2 yellows, and I guess his middle sector was that much faster. That's awesome.
it's good stuff there. It'll be a pretty fantastic one. Nick Tyrrell going to be beating the buzzer to get in before the end of qualifying. He will not set a lap time, but he will be starting from the back of the grid for this 90-minute race here in just a moment's time. 20 drivers in total. I think it'll be a pretty fun one. I know you're excited to be out there, or wish you could be out there on track. What would you be looking to do? I know we talked about the whole drive safe, drive fast mantra we came up with earlier, but what is your take on getting a successful result here at Portimao?
Yeah, kind of, kicking the dead horse on this one, but yeah, just watch my off tracks, and just make sure I don't get lazy. This is a track that if you kind of zone out for a minute, you just kind of fall off pace, and if you overheat the tires, you definitely fall off pace. So you really got to watch, stay on top of the wheel, and just really feel the car every corner, because every corner here is punishing. So yeah, just don't get lazy.
God, very good. Okay. Got a grid coming up here.
Oh, that's qualifying results. Let's go to the grid.
I mean, both will technically get us to the same place in the order of these drivers. But the grid is where I think we want to take to give you a good idea of who's on what row and where they're at overall. Do you want to take it away, or you want me
to? You can start.
I certainly will. Dan Griffin going to be leading us off from 100 Force. Going to have a pretty fantastic run to put himself on the top of the grid. A good half a second faster than Andrew Slovak is going to be alongside him for that first row. Third is going to be Jonathan Schwartz, who gets a pretty solid time in there, unable to improve on his final lap. 8 sides alongside him in fourth. Sergey Perok and Kevin Hayes going to round out that third row of the grid. Zachary Holden going to be leading off the GT3 AM drivers from 7th overall, alongside Ken Duval, who's going to be fighting for that podium spot and that top spot in the GT3 AM category in 8th. 9th is going to be Tom Leeson alongside Tim Schaefer, who's been struggling to find a little bit of pace here this weekend. Tyler Roberts alongside Hayden Mamenga going to be rounding out that top 12. The likes of Jim Campbell going to be alongside Trevor Peterson, as well as Wesley Woods with Keith Gwinnett. And then last but certainly not least, we have Dale Marshall, Rob Myers, Landon Orr, and Nick Tyrrell to round out the 20-car grid here at Algarve.
Man, we're almost ready to go racing.
We certainly are. The pits look like somebody has done, I think, a complete burnout in them by the looks of the tire tracks that are on pit road there.
Some fantastic artwork. We need to. Who did that? We need a signature.
We'll have to go take a photo of it and have them sign it afterwards. Pace lap is starting, I believe.
Yes. Nice full pace lap here at Portimao. Make sure all the debris is cleared off the track. Don't really have that issue here with any gravel.
Thankfully, yeah, there's not a whole lot of gravel traps that I feel like you drive back onto the surface where you're not running through a lot of tarmac runoff that usually ends up, kicking the gravel off onto first. Or you're usually not driving back onto the track anyway, I think is the other part of that.
Yeah, you tend to get a little bit right through here, but it's kind of a non-issue.
Yeah, not really. Except that you're just going straight anyway, and then you both can clear it and get the stuff off your tires again before you get to the braking zone here for this first major hairpin, or the second major hairpin, excuse me, before Samsung corner.
Is Nick Tyrrell starting from the pits?
It looks like he might be. He might not have actually gotten loaded in yet. I don't see him on track at the... Oh, yeah, he is starting the pits. I don't think he joined in time to start on the grid. So it's gonna be very interesting to kind of have some like pretty cold tires by comparison to work through the rest of the field with.
Yeah, that's never fun, especially at this track. A pretty big delta between cold and hot tires.
Very much the case. The grip you lean on, especially in the kind of the faster speed corners that you have throughout this lap. Really crucial to not, losing time trying to make sure you don't end up sliding out wide or running off, losing traction on the, like, especially in this run up to Portimao corner. This off camber braking zone before turn number 10 is, I think, such an interesting one that you can easily lose the tires on, especially when they're cold. Brief update here before we get to go racing here is that I think Jonathan Schwartz posted in chat that he's only going to be here for the first 35 minutes, and then he'll be dipping out for the evening. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up alongside these drivers here in the first 30 minutes of racing.
Yeah, before we get the green here, he's actually a new 100 force driver.
Oh, is he? Fantastic. I was wondering, that livery looked mighty familiar, and I was like, I hope he's joined up with y'all, because y'all never fail to have some pretty rapid drivers and some good folks to drive with. So
Late green flag here.
finally jumping off. Fantastic jump out of the likes of Jonathan Schwartz and Nate Sides. And Kevin Hayes going to be a big old 3 wide in turn number 1. Sergey Peruk also getting a pretty fantastic run to end up into the podium positions alongside Andrew Slovak. And they switch over under out of Jonathan Schwartz and Dan Griffin. Jonathan Schwartz is going to go just a little too deep into the corner, and that's going to put him in the battles with Sergey Peruk.
I believe that was championship leader Nate Sides sliding in the background. We'll get settled out here and go back and take a look at that.
Yeah, certainly, I think we'll be interesting to see where that lands in just a moment's time. Ken Duvall also getting a jump to pit lane from that, I think, as a result of some similar issues.
Everybody seems to be in line now.
Yeah.
Doesn't take long
Given
here.
this is a... Oh, finish that.
Yeah, I was just saying it doesn't take long to kind of, as we see Kevin Hayes dive up the inside of Tim Schaefer here. These corners kind of force you to fall in line quickly, because going 2x2 here is pretty slow in a lot of them, as Kevin Hayes is making it work around the outside.
Yeah, Tim Schaefer, Kevin Hayes is going to go 2 wide to his final corner. They're going to keep bleeding time up to the podium sitters and the rest of the top 5 as they work their way through the end of the first lap here. 2 of them still unresolved as they get back down into turn number 1.
Such a scary
Schaefer looking for that
fast turn.
Yeah, it's such a scary fast turn. You're only on the brakes enough to make sure you don't end up flying out the far side of that corner, and then you're back onto the throttle before diving into the hairpin. Great opportunities for over-unders and the like. Tim Schaefer making really good use of that to end up on top here.
Got it done, held off.
For the time being, Kevin Hayes, however, looking for any opportunity. Tim Schaefer has talked about that car being a little bit hard to deal with this week.
Battle for your AM lead right here.
That's certainly the case. Keep going up. Looking to make a move back on Hayden Mamenga. for Peterson. A little ways down from the rest of those drivers.
Tom Leeson with a great move. That's a corner if you happen to slip up on the entry and go a little wide, somebody can definitely sneak up on the inside of you, which is exactly what Tom did there. Great move.
Yeah, Trevor Peterson there. Looking to repay the favor, having to find a little bit of time there, and Jim Campbell trying to get past as many of these AM drivers as he can to keep up the momentum in the pro category.
Up one position so far, just trying to check the boxes one at a time, and hopefully finds himself closer to the front at the end of the race.
That's the goal, because this team will get him everywhere. Nate Sides, you saw in the background of that, getting around Wesley Woods and Rob Myers as well. Looking to add to that list as Trevor Peterson going to make a little bit of contact there. Not sure if he missed the call out or what happened there.
Nate Sides' car appears to be clean. We'll go back and take a look at that incident that started off the race.
Whoa, that's going to be a Wesley Woods out wide. Amongst all that, but he keeps it going the right direction. Just got a little bit of a nudge there from, I think it was Rob Myers.
All right,
gaps
ready?
Open up.
Oh.
So gaps are opening up pretty quickly for certain groups of these drivers. Nate Sides continuing his kind of charge up to the rest of the field, down behind Jim Campbell. Battle for the AM lead, as well as Tim Schaefer and Kevin Hayes still closely contested.
Felt like I saw the Porsche make a surprise appearance. I think, was it at Indy maybe, in one of the officials this week? It was, it's kind of shocked to see it. It's been a Mustang Fest.
Yeah, it certainly has been. I think it was Indy that saw a lot of the Porsche come out of the proverbial sim racing garages for these GT3 drivers. As these two continue to duke it out. Some good runs out of Tim Schaefer, Kevin Hayes now returning the favor. So they go too wide into this hairpin. Dick too wide around the outside. We'll have to tuck back in line for Kevin Hayes. Tim Schaefer playing some pretty solid defense amongst all this. Almost right behind them is that four-way, or that battle for lead in GT3 AM, which now also includes a looming Tom Leeson not far behind, and Tyler Roberts caught in the middle of this podium fight for the GT3 AM category.
Up 2 on the day so far.
Mm-hmm.
Nate Sides at the back of this pack, starting to close in on everyone.
He is. Kevin Hayes getting a great exit out of the final corner to overtake Tim Schaefer into turn number 1. Since they battle a little further up the road. Swap positions, still in a close fight though. I think if Tim Schaefer has the ability to kind of respond. Those drivers having a pretty fantastic run.
Kevin Hayes using all the track, as you should, tucking it in nicely to the apex there. It's a fantastic line.
Absolutely is trying to keep the momentum going the right direction, as well as not trying to get back into too wide conflict with Tim Schafer.
Looks like Nate Sods is closing in.
Make his recovery drive, continue up the order. Spin out of Keith Gwinnett, though, is going to upset that podium battle for the GT3 AM category. So he'll keep that car out of a wall and out of harm's way. Let's see if he has some sort of technical issue or is just trying to work an awkward spot to try to get back into the racing line. Not a really good spot to kind of get back into the circuit, but we'll tuck in right behind Zachary Holden. Keep up the fight. So plenty of opportunity to make up the time there. We've not talked about, I'd say, the top. Whoa! Big moment there is Tom Leeson has to make sure that he doesn't end up running into Tyler Roberts. Nate Side's going to try to get around him as well.
You were saying?
I was going to talk about this battle for the podium spots in the GT3 Pro category, but apparently we have other things to talk about real quick. Ender Slovak going to get around Jonathan Schwartz. A fantastic run here. I don't know if we have the ability to go back and look at the pass. It's a pretty solid one.
We'll wind that back here.
He has a slowdown penalty to serve, if I remember correctly, because he showcases it real quick.
Yeah, definitely moved over, hit the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pulling away.
Mm-hmm. Lap time's been increasingly quicker, consistently getting quicker for Andrew Slovak. Now only about a few hundredths faster, or slower, excuse me, than Dan Griffin, who's up at the lead of this pack in this field. Who's got a pretty healthy 4-second gap for the time being.
Sergey Perot trying to chase down that podium. Kevin Hayes and Tim Schafer spread out a little bit now.
Tyler Roberts and Nate Sides, however, going to be continuing to duke it out. Tyler Roberts doesn't want to take that lying down too seriously. Hayden Mamenga slowly getting caught by this trio of drivers as well. Tyler Roberts and Tom Leeson going to be looking to try to work their way and continue the way up the order. Tom Leeson looking to close down that gap to Hayden Mamenga to battle for the lead of the GT3 AM category. Wide line out of Tyler Roberts there. Is going to see that pass get made.
It almost looked like he was letting them by, but I think that was just maybe a mistake.
It's such a hard set of corners to really nail, I think, in any machinery. It's a little bit easier when you have a little more downforce, but it doesn't really get a whole lot more comfortable regardless of what you're driving. It's one that I think you can easily make if you're either a little too early or a little too hard on the brakes, you'll end up tracking out. If you're in machinery that doesn't have, ABS, you can also lock them up pretty easily because that ground falls away from you. And with not much downforce to keep these cars planted, it's really easy to end up, I think, going a little bit deeper than you meant to into the corner. That's what we saw there for Tyler. Oh boy.
It's that Brody Wallace and Ferrari is what it looks like.
That's
up the middle.
what it looks like. Yep. Gonna make it out of it okay.
Wesley Woods shot the gap in the middle.
Yeah. Wesley Woods gonna also follow him through.
What's looks like he's running a special livery this weekend.
Yes, yep. He's got a livery and kind of bringing awareness to the earthquake over in Colombia that happened not too long ago, yesterday morning. And is looking to support that. Put a little bit of a show on with a bit of drift.
We might need to get him in the broadcast booth and let him know our cameras pivot. He didn't have to show us the side of the car, but we appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll bring him up here and then we can tell him. I believe, Nicholas, you had something you want to tell Wesley Woods about the cameras here in the broadcast booth?
Yes, sir, Mr. Woods. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, fellas?
We certainly appreciate your hard work in the car right now, and I just wanted to let you know that our broadcast cameras can pivot and follow you around track, and no need to show off the side of the car anymore by sliding it. We appreciate it. It looked awesome.
I know, right? No, that was very unfortunate. I'm just going to have to try to get back up to those guys. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I pulled a pretty slick move going between two of them.
We caught the tail end of that and saw you split the gap. That was exciting to see.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I'm doing my best.
Yeah,
Racing for Columbia tonight.
I was just about to ask you if you wanted to speak about the livery you're running.
Sure. Well, as everybody may know, Colombia experienced a very bad earthquake this Monday morning around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard. And one of the towns affected was the hometown of my in-laws, Perea. Thank God, all the family's safe. Everybody's checked in, everything's fine, but all the towns in the area did receive some heavy amounts of damage. Places that I actually stood early this April are like really bad off. So tonight I'm racing for my family, for Colombia. Replaced, instead of doing W Woods as my name tape, I have W Trejos Serna. It's kind of my Colombian given name. But yeah, I'm racing that as my name tape tonight for the Trejos Serna family in Perea, Colombia. Ooh, off track. That's fine.
Yeah, no, that's thank you for sharing with us, and I know I'll definitely be praying for everybody down there. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Good luck with the back half of this. Well, you have still plenty more of this race to go, but
Yeah, I'm
hoping.
Oh, go ahead.
No, just say what you're hoping for.
Oh, I'm hoping that I can get back up there. If I can get back to that aggressive flow that I was at, then maybe I might can get back up there to where
I think you got it.
Rob and them are. Thank you.
Patience and consistency, I think, is the name of the game at this point. I don't know. Those are my words of wisdom, I guess, for the moment.
Well, good luck,
Will
Mr.
do.
Woods, and have fun and keep your head down.
Thank you. Will do.
I'm kicking you back to the booth where you were.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. And he's off back to his paddock. Meanwhile, race continues.
Oh,
Ooh. Tim Schaefer, Nate Sides now getting into it. Tim Shaver lost a few seconds amongst all this. I'm trying to figure out what happened there. There's an off track that I missed.
I'm not seeing his name anywhere on my list, really.
I'm not either. He lost 3 seconds those most recent laps, so I wonder if it's something tied with that.
He does have some right front damage. Was that from when Nate just passed him, or I wonder if that was there prior?
I think it was there prior. Let's see if I can. That's been there for a number of laps. It looks like.
Okay.
We were having that conversation and battle between the two of them. That is the start of lap 5, where Kevin Hayes passed him. He ends up bumping into Kevin Hayes, and that's where he picks up that damage that we see now. Trevor Peterson gonna have joined those with a crash. Looks like a little bit of a spin there.
Well, that is a terrible replay camera. What happened there?
Oh, okay.
Let's back
That'll
that
be
up.
oh my goodness.
Whoa! Did he? That's why the camera was spazzed out. He disappeared.
Yes, yeah. So he'll disappear for a minute here. You'll see him rejoin right in the middle of this chaos. Get clipped by Landon Orr as well as Jim Campbell. It looks like Wesley Wood takes some great evasive action and not run into him.
That's terrifying.
That certainly is.
Battle here
Wow.
for the P2
Oh, yeah, go
Pro has stayed pretty consistent. John Schwartz not able to close that gap, unfortunately.
But hasn't really let that gap open either. You know, he let I think Andrew Slowback down by to go for a little bit more pace or to let a service slow down before it became something worse. But since then, he's not really Slowback hasn't really opened up a gap at all to John Schwartz, and John Schwartz I think has been driving pretty comfortably behind him for the moment. I know when we got him for part of the race here, but the lap times looking pretty similar between those two.
This battle appears to be tightening up for second place here in GT3 AM.
Mm-hmm. Hayden Manga was, I think, pretty comfortably towards the lead of this pack. He's found himself a little bit further back. Kind of see if there's something similar like what we saw with Trevor Peterson amongst all this.
Nick Tyrrell, 7 spots gained up to P13.
Yep, now it's closed down the 7-second gap between himself and Zachary Holden.
Yeah.
As well as keep Keith Winup from getting past him again.
Looks like, what other battle do we need to check in on here?
Got a few. Battle for overall positions for a couple of these groups. That was our podium battle for the GT3 Pro. These two have
Getting-
gotten a lot closer. Says John Schwartz about a couple tenths fastest most recent time by. Continues to seem to be closing down that gap quite quickly in this middle sector here. Quite quickly, excuse me.
It's getting a little tail happy going up over the hill. Those tires are not happy.
I'm sure they are a little warm. I'm pretty sure Slovakian, both of them have been pushing it pretty hard. As I try to see what they can do to try to keep up with Dan Griffin, who has doubled the gap in the same amount of, or in roughly about the same amount of time, to just continue to increase that gap by about half a second. This most recent time by, a few tenths there for those drivers.
It looks like Dan's running some turning low 42 lap times. Just did a 42.0 this time by.
We'll see if he continues to improve there, as well as the rest of the drivers here. Those two setting 142.75 and 142.62. Well, we've not talked about him much. I think he's been kind of on his own little island. Sergey Perot, right off the podium here, has been having a pretty fantastic run. Just being very consistent throughout this opening 25 minutes. Kevin Hayes slowly trying to catch up to him, but has to keep putting the pedal to the metal, and has only been chipping away every couple of laps or so.
Still over an hour to go, so I'm excited to see where we're going to be at going into the pit stops. See.
Yeah, I think that'll be very interesting to see.
I imagine everybody's going to take tires. I don't know why you would not.
Given that it's split tires and fuel, I think it's going to be really interesting to see who does and doesn't take tires and how that affects the race in the final 30 minutes. Because I think you can see a case for either, especially given that they are split tire and fuel for this league instead of all in one.
Yeah, and one thing we hadn't talked about was the weather. Track temp's not ridiculous, so yeah, that's not that hot at all. So currently 85.
Oh man, that is quite tempered.
Well, should we, you want to run down the field? Take a look check in with everybody?
Be able to see where everybody's at. I think it'd be a good opportunity, but Tom Leeson, I think, would be a good place to jump to real quick, because he bumps into Tim Schaefer once again.
Looks like they had a nice little back and forth. We'll go back and take a look at this action here real quick.
Indeed, it was pretty quick, but you see Tom Leeson making a look way into the braking zone, just a little too wide. Tim Schaefer, who's already got an injury there, only seems to make it a little bit worse, and Tom Leeson goes skirting away with it. So, Tom Leeson, speaking of, leader of the GT3M category for the time being, 4 seconds ahead of his next in class, Zachary Holden. A little ways around. A lot of these drivers kind of in their own races and battling with consistency over everything else at the moment. A couple exceptions to that. Keith Gwinnett, I think, as well as Rob Myers, but we'll get to them here in a moment. As we work our way through, Hayden Mamanga going to be in third in class there. Jim Campbell splitting the difference between Zachary Holden and Hayden Mamanga. Nick Tyrrell going to be working his way through as well. Trevor Peterson going to be not quite a lap down to all of the drivers, but in the middle of kind of the battle there, Nick Tyrrell up 7 positions from where he has started. Tim Shaver diving into pit lane to get his fuel stop done, I think, as well as to get that rear end repaired.
It's
Front end, excuse me.
cutting it pretty close, right? He would need to make that second tank go an hour.
It is pretty darn close. I'm super curious to see how long he spends in pit lane. That's going to be the thing that'll dictate whether or not, or where he'll end up. Keith Gwinnett, saw Rob Myers as well, is going to be battling with Rob Myers. Those two of them have been trading a couple of blows earlier on. And Landon Orr at the tail end of those 3. What you got?
Oh, I was curious to see, when we cut to it, looked like Keith was swinging it pretty wide. I don't know if there's maybe some contact in there or not.
I don't think it was. I think
No, he
just
caught the curve.
ran wide.
Yeah, he clipped
yeah.
the inside sausage and popped the car up, lost the traction, and sent him way wide.
Seems like he was able to keep good recovery of that. Jonathan Schwartz going to be diving into pit lane. Maybe where I think we see him exit our evening of racing. Does promote Sergey Perot into about a podium position and puts Kevin Hayes right into the fight with him. Just take a look at Dale Marshall at the tail end of that field of the now, I would say, 18 drivers currently out on track. Kevin Hayes still about a few tenths a lap faster than Sergey Perot. Not by an insane amount, but just enough to where that 2-second gap has bled down to 0.6 of a second.
Lurking just out of camera from these two gentlemen as Nate Sides put on a good recovery drive after the opening lap spin, back up to top 5. So that's good for his championship battle right there, just holding on.
It certainly is. I'd say the lap times he's been putting in, I've been keeping a loose eye on them as he's been working through, and any lap that he's basically on his own has been a little bit faster than pretty much everybody in the top 3 minus Dan Griffin at this point. Running very consistent 142, low 142s as he's closing in. Andrew Slovak going to dive into pit lane just after the 30-minute mark, which should mean that he is probably going to be set to go to the end. Question I have is, does he hop onto the jacks when he gets into the box? Well, we'll watch this battle unfold with podium spots.
Sorry, I actually wanted to see if
hey.
we'll come back to him.
Hops on the jacks too?
I was curious.
Yeah, we'll come back to him. I'll keep an eye on him while we're watching the battles on the track. Yeah, we'll see whether or not he hops up onto the jacks here in just a moment's time. That gap still closing between those two drivers. He does not hop on the jacks for Andrew Slovak. 23 seconds in the pit lane, or in the pit stall, I should say. A couple more seconds for the pit lane time. Dumps him right out in the middle of the GT3 AM traffic. This battle, which now for, I think what is going to be eventually net P3, will be one that I'll be interested to see where it unfolds.
I think it's about time we should maybe drag this guy in and try to distract him a little bit. What do you think?
I'm very here for it.
Oh boy, I wasn't talking this time.
What are you doing up there?
I don't know, hanging out.
I saw you did a 42.8 a few laps ago. What happened?
I upshifted incorrectly, so when I downshifted, I got a bunch of interbraking I wasn't expecting. And yeah, thanks for pointing out all my flaws.
That's what we're here for. Is what the cameras do. Unfortunately. How's the track feeling? How are the tires?
Not too bad. The lefts are definitely a bit complaining, but I haven't really been taking care of them. Track's pretty good. I say that as I almost spin out, but
I saw that rear end wobble.
Yeah.
I was concerned for a moment there.
what's that?
I would say I was concerned for a moment there because the rear end looked real wobbly on.
Oh, it's
That-
fine. Just Corvette things.
Ah, okay. Just always wants
Yeah.
to kill you.
How's it going up in the booth? You enjoying the AC?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. No sun in here. We got nice cold drinks.
Excellent.
Some good food.
Some
But,
Portuguese wine, maybe.
A little bit. Although
Yeah.
I would trade it all to be driving this racetrack right now. You know.
Oh
We,
man, are you reminiscing about how much you love Portimao? How many
am.
times has he said he loves Portimao, Finn?
He definitely talked about wanting to be. Well, he would rather be on the track, I think, as much as he talked about anything else tonight.
Yeah.
So,
Good times here at Portimao. So
Yeah, for sure.
are y'all doing
anything.
the 1000?
Dan, I'll let you answer that.
I missed it. I'm sorry. What'd you say,
Are
Finn?
you guys? No, you're good. Are you guys doing the 1000 this weekend?
John and I are. Yeah, in the
Okay.
Corvette GT1.
Oh man. All right. I will
So
probably not see you on track because I have a way different iRacing, but I will be doing the same thing. So
nice.
Same
The,
car.
yeah, same car.
I mean the American V8 monster, right?
Yep. It was.
Yeah.
I did the HPD last year, and I felt like darn the
Okay,
GT
yeah.
ones this year.
I like that car too. I actually
Yeah, both are
don't
great.
own the GT1 yet, so I need to do that.
Yeah.
But
well, you
I
got
was
a few
a little
days
disappointed
left.
to see its full price. Like how often is it used? Like
Specifically in the Proto GT series, I think at this point.
oh, that's true. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really like this track.
Thank you. It's been a good one.
Yeah.
We were just trying to distract you a little bit, give you some
Yeah.
race entertainment.
Yeah, fair enough.
Are you taking tires or no tires?
I sure am. I was not. Yeah, after John said he was only going to do part of the race, I was like, I'll just kind of just do laps and not really manage anything. So
All
hopefully, yeah, we'll see where Andrew comes out, I guess, when that happens.
He did not take tires. For the record.
He did not.
No, not that I saw.
Oh
That's-
man,
that's
that is a choice.
That's against the rules, isn't it? Is it an insider information?
I mean,
No, it's all right. I'm committed. I'm not. I promise I won't change what I was doing. So, yeah, I think like from a competitive standpoint, I think probably taking lefts is the way to go. But I'm just gonna take all four.
All right. Well, good luck, man.
All right.
all right. Now I've given insider information and thoroughly made this broadcast booth as biased as it can be.
Of
This battle between these two for P2 and P3, pretty fantastic.
yeah, I was. Let's go back and take a look at some of these passes that happened while we were talking. One of us was doing illegal things, and it was not the teammate of all people.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, exactly. Which is why it's. I mean, to be fair, you can ask if you have like the right software, you can ask it and it'll tell you how long they were in the pit box, and you can then triangulate that to come up with that information.
Oh, Kevin Hayes diving in the pits.
Well,
I don't blame him. That could be some good strategy. Get away from the battle, get some clean track, clean air, turn faster lap times. It might pay off for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he does
looks
that.
like he has the pace to get past Sergey.
Go back and look at that beautiful pass up the inside. Oh,
Yeah, the over-under here was so good. That's how he ends up, how Sergey ends up holding onto that, or Sergey ends up holding onto that spot there on the podium.
see where Kevin Hayes comes out of the pits at.
That he does. Ends up pretty well. Only 7 seconds behind. Yeah, he was 2 seconds faster than Andrew Slovak. So the next driver that he's battling for in class. Got a couple of AM drivers between the two of them. As Woods working his way through. Tomlinson, I'm guessing, is probably very excited to be in P3 in overall. I'm dragging him up here. I'm going to ask him.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
You just missed it. You could have asked.
No, I
him
picked the right time.
no, I think that was perfect. Unfortunately,
Yep.
I needed to pit anyways. What's going on, guys? How's it going?
I was going to ask you how you were feeling about being on the podium in GT3 overall. And
I would have asked you to take a picture if I knew, but I honestly haven't been paying attention to my position on track.
well, that and then as soon as I pulled you in here is when you slid. So
Yeah, that's fair.
how's
race
It's feeling pretty good so far. This is one of my favorite tracks. I'm used to driving a lot more downforce, but you do. I drove a lot of Super Formula Lights and Radicals around here.
ooh, yeah, I bet Radical would be a lot of fun.
Radicals are great here. Like, it's all about, hard braking zones and like, can you not lock your brakes? So good.
what's your favorite thing about this track?
Honestly, I think it's just variety. It's always keeps you awake, keeps you on your toes. You're always dodging something or other. Passing is really fun here. There's a couple of places where people just kind of don't expect it. So, if you're familiar with it, it kind of gives you a little boost.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites as well, for a lot of reasons you just stated. Yeah, it's just a fantastic racetrack.
Just oh my god, don't hit the curb on turn 1 on cold tires.
I am going to extend that line of thinking to, I think, turn 1 on any tires.
Yeah.
I don't think cold 1. I don't think either work out well. But
No, especially here though. You're so high commitment. Don't upset the car.
You took
Absolutely.
tires, didn't you?
I sure did. My front tires were cooking. I had to stay behind a couple of people for a bit, and it was slip sliding around, and it wasn't feeling good anymore. I'm curious to see what other people do, because I think everybody's tires are going to be on fire. Track usage was stupidly high in practice. I can't imagine what it is now. and we started on a hot track. It's not so bad anymore, I don't think, but I'm willing to bet people's tires are going to be pretty eaten up.
It sounds like I think we've only seen one person so far not take tires.
Was that Griffin?
No, he has
Goes
yet
not.
to pit.
Oh, yeah, he's on lap 26.
And
Who
word
did
on the
take tires?
street.
I'm curious.
Word on the street is he is taking tires.
Well, then I feel good about my decision.
I was given a warning by our legal team not to continue to disclose it, but since I've already disclosed it to one person, I feel like I can disclose this person again. I don't know. The person that took tires, at least one of the people who haven't taken tires, I think there's a couple actually at this point, who haven't taken tires. Andrew Slowback is one of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Those two guys are quick.
Mhm.
I know Dan was like, good lead going, but guys putting in like 141s and stuff around here is pretty crazy to me.
Absolutely. Well, we'll let you get back to racing.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you. Enjoy the broadcast.
Certainly try.
I'll see if I can send it on Zach at least one more time.
Yeah. Be some good content.
Yeah, I'll try to keep you guys entertained at least.
I like
Well,
it.
good luck. Have fun.
Thanks, guys.
Tom Leeson in the booth for a while. Now back to racing properly.
Order is all kinds of mixed up as everybody's shuffling through all the pit stops. Gonna be a couple more laps before we see how this shaking out.
How we do, the threat of a safety car also looms over us.
Ooh, safety car.
Oh, it's possible. I'm not going to say whether or not it's happening. But I did start our usual random timer of whether or not there will be one. So if it goes off, if we end up having a need for a safety car, we'll find out here in a moment. Or not.
Is that the lawyer speaking?
Partially, yeah. Some of it's lawyer speaking.
Do we need to have a
And
disclaimer?
continue. No disclaimer on this one. Disclaimer that my knowledge of any pit cycle strategies or employments
It's
is
for
entirely-
entertainment purposes only.
Entirely for entertainment purposes only. It should not be used as practical or medical advice. Should always consult your doctor or your pit crew staff for any updates on what other drivers' pit strategy is.
So, I've only been around OMEC now for I don't know, maybe 5 seasons or something. But is that the first time those words have been spoken on a broadcast?
I think so. I think that's the first time anything close to something like that has been spoken on a broadcast.
Making
That's the first time
history
I've ever
tonight.
said them.
That you can say at least.
That I can say, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, your mid-race entertainment is now complete.
That it certainly is. Brought to you by I guess by me. I'm in a lawless state today.
Yeah.
Chuck
okay.
Peterson diving back into the pit lane. What'd you have? Sorry.
I was just saying, apparently we need to change our tires in the booth as well.
Mm-hmm. I do. You remove my usual responsibilities, and I become just absolutely ungovernable.
Look at this guy sitting third.
Yeah. He still has the pit cycle to go through. He's only got the pit lane start under his belt. But one of 6 drivers, excuse me, that have yet to pit.
Now, a bit of a technical question here. Something I've kind of, it's caught my eye that I'm really unsure of. Why is Dan's name red on the standings?
Because Dan will, I believe, technically be a lap ahead of him.
Gotcha.
Or is on the next lap from where Nick Tyrrell's at.
Okay.
I think he is just at the spot where he'll. That's why it'll flicker, I think, a little bit.
You have to bear with me, everybody, as I learn the ins and outs of SDK.
Absolutely. And Dan has lapped a good half of the field and is a lap ahead, statistically, over, sometimes mostly a lap ahead, depending on which driver it is, of a good portion of the field. But that's also because pit cycle means that everybody else is further back than they would be otherwise, since he hasn't pit yet.
Battle for position here overall as Kevin's working his way back through the field after his pit stop.
Yeah, Rob Myers has yet to pit. Well, I see that. He has just dove in to do so. Yeah. That one comes to a close. Keith Wenham going to join him in pit lane, as he needs to make his pit stop as well. Just shy of 10 minutes to go. Sorry, 10 minutes. Sorry, shy of 40 minutes. 10 minutes till the top of the hour. My math is not mathing.
Looks like the closest battle on track right now is this one. Almost 1.5 seconds apart.
Yep, that is the case. For overall P5, our current GT3 AM leader, and Jim Campbell, who's currently in 5th. Got a whole bunch of drivers making their way into pit lane as it stands, as well as coming back out, which means we'll see a couple of these battles start to kind of pick back up. Keep going up. Rob Myers, I think, going to be coming into a battle here towards the end of this part of the race. Dale Marshall going to be in. Yeah.
I was just looking at the times here. If Hayden, if he does fuel only, he'll be able to make the pit and come out with a decent lead still. Good close.
Hayden having a pretty good run, but the off tracks might be what does him in if he's not careful. And I think it's very, very, very possible that he will still stay ahead by a pretty sizable or solid margin to Zachary Holden if he's able to, if he doesn't take tires, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
The driver I don't think we've talked much about, Maynard on his way through. A pretty consistent and I'd say smooth run at least.
Yeah, nice.
Some lap traffic.
Nice finish here. Should find himself in the top 10 in points after tonight.
I think so. I think there was some good points all, especially because there's only 20 cars tonight. I think for some good points pretty much for everybody, and then it will be a nice buffer round for anybody who has these and then does or has had a worse finish than this week. So a lot of them turn one of the other rounds that they've had into a drop round at this point. Also got some love for the CTD crew for a good host of their drivers.
What is happening here? Oh. Switched back to the scenic camera on me somehow.
I think Trevor Peterson having a quick moment of like another disconnect hiccup that he had earlier.
Kevin Hayes now on the back of Hayden here. P5 overall. Tim Schaefer has a black flag right now.
I think that'll be a drive-through for incident limits. Ooh. What obscure Portuguese animal do we think is on the track today?
I hope you're not asking me that question.
I'm not, but the safety car is getting thrown as a result.
Oh no. I knew there was a Jamaican prairie dog running through there. Gosh, I was hoping my eyes were deceiving me.
So we will get a safety car today because the timer dictates that we got a safety car.
Dan Griffin dove into the pit.
As it was being thrown.
I think he was committed, yeah.
Wow. Serendipitous, one might say.
What a break. Yeah, I think I see no black flag, so he must have been on pit road when it come out.
All right, well.
Who's going to be the big winner and loser from this?
I mean, I'd say I think the big winner is going to be the last like two drivers that have yet to come down pit lane. so far.
It's Sergi and Hayden, correct?
Yeah, Sergi Hayden and Nick Tyrrell, because he's only started in pit lane and hasn't come back down since.
That's right.
So super interesting to see where they end up at the end of this as a result. Safety car is out. The safety car lights are on. Shaver getting his lap back.
There we go. Classic. Terrible rear from the safety car. I don't have any cool cameras loaded, unfortunately.
Well, I'll have to get you something.
Sergi and Nick coming into the pits, getting their service complete.
A good host of black flags to clear.
Looks like everybody got the memo. Did a good job of following the safety car procedures there.
Yeah. All right. Everybody should be pace car should be going in at the end of this lap. A bunch of black flags to clear. For various things.
So it looks like the big loser is actually Dan Griffin.
Well, yeah, maybe.
$20 second lead gone and down a few positions.
Should make for a spicy finish, though.
I would say big winner. I don't know. You could almost say Andrew, just, because he was a little far back. Who knows where he would have come out with a green flag stop. But Nick Tyrrell back up to 6th. Only 2 positions behind the guy who's battling Nate Sides, but then Kevin has them all beat right now. So top 3 in GT3 Pro right there battling together on track with, what do we have, 27 minutes to go after we go green. It's gonna be fun.
27 minutes. I think it's going to be a very fun restart. Be super interesting to see where they end up at the end of these 27 minutes. Double file restart.
That's
Theoretically.
interesting.
Huh. More green flag. Oh, a great launch out of Kevin Hayes. Bring in just that under a little bit of pressure. Nate Side's going to try to join him as well. Back underway here. Oh, a bit of a bottleneck. He keeps it going the right direction though. Griffin gonna get, oh, and second pro gonna be the one to lose out. Catches the slide before it becomes a problem, but those tires not really getting up to temperature in time. He's gonna unfortunately have a bit of a moment. So he piles into the second hairpin.
That was Tim Schaefer that we saw at the bottom of the screen there, spinning.
That it was, had a bit of a moment, got into contact with the likes of Trevor Peterson, excuse me, Rob Myers, Tyler Roberts.
Nick Tyrrell was in the middle of all that and made it out unscathed.
And they did. Zachary Holden, going to be another driver to slide out wide. Fresh tires, not warmed up tires, and too much curbing, unsettling that
Nate
car.
Sides with a spin.
Nate Sides. Too much throttle too quickly. Going to see him drop down the order. The ability to get that car going the right direction once again. The rest of these drivers all pretty well and truly bunched up, especially Danny Griffin, as well as Kevin Hayes. Get a look inside that GT3R Corvette.
Sounds like Wesley Woods is requesting a black flag to be cleared.
Yep. One final time. That should be the rest of them. Holden, Jim Campbell. Going to be a handful of drivers that have off tracks.
Let's go back and see what happened with Zach Holden here.
Much like we saw, I think, out of a couple other drivers, too much aggression on turn number 4.
Jim Campbell.
This was, immediately after. Circuit Pro bumps. This is Trevor Peterson who collects Jim Campbell. Bit of an unfortunate move there. Trevor Peterson also hit a black flag for an incident limit because of that contact. So probably got to be a bit of frustration there, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially when it's no fault of your own. Getting hit from behind and sliding through, that's a aggravating way to get that kind of flag.
That certainly is. The entire GT3 AM podium within a second and a half of each other. Pretty fantastic run here as Tom Leeson working his way back up the order. Now only a stone's throw away from Keith Gwinnett and Hayden Mamenga just in front of both of them. Fantastic set of driving out of those drivers to close out. 20 minutes left to go. Tim Schaefer going to be hit with another black flag for the incident limit.
Got a big run. See if he sends it in turn one.
Looks like he's definitely leaning on the door there to make it happen. Later on the brakes. He's going to get that move complete, but he's going to have a slower run up into the first hairpin. Lays it defensive. It's going to be a shallow entry, though. Keith Gwinnett going to be looking for that over-under if he can manage it, but he doesn't quite have enough space. Both drivers are going to have a moment there. Keith Gwinnett got a great run. It's going to see him too wide going into the second hairpin. Tom trying to squeeze him in here. Both are going to overshoot that corner just a little bit. Keith Gwinnett going to get the worst of exits. Meanwhile, this gap has been closing rather quickly, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I think that's the old tire versus new tire really showed itself right here.
Yeah, I got a Dale Marshall on the inside there trying to stay out of the way of everybody. Definitely is a case of those who took tires versus those who did not. As well as the battle for the championship lead and podiums happening just behind them. Nate Sides, I think, going to be forced to use the drop round on this one. Dan going to lean on the door just ahead of these two drivers as well. Not enough to get by. And so like getting a great run out of the hairpin to stay ahead with the over-under. Dan is definitely making the mirrors full and doing his best to kind of unsettle Andrew Slovak as they get through Samsung.
Looks like he had to do a little corrective action there on entry, had a bit more speed and snatch it out wide to avoid running in the back of Andrew there.
Yeah, certainly. Andrew is also already kind of using that, run that line a little wide to begin with. Keith Gwinnett going to be labeled as crashed amongst all this, and he's going to jump to pits. A battle for the GT3 AM podium spots is going to be down one of the members who were close in that fight.
See if Dan gets a
making the
run.
move. Definitely possible. Has the draft. Will he choose the inside line or go for the outside? He's going to stick to the outside. Andrew's going to have to slow a little bit down further. See if Dan plays that very beautifully to get the over-under. He's going to stick the inside line here. See if Andrew returns the favor. He's going to try to keep that door closed. Almost in tandem, Nick Tyrrell also gets around Kevin Hayes at the same time. that Dan Griffin got around Andrew Slovak.
Definitely worth going back and watching.
Absolutely. Just a couple corners earlier in the track on the same lap at around the same time. Just a fantastic run there. This is going to be that incident with Keith Gwinnett that we saw come across the tiny tower. Sergei Perok bumping into another driver, and that one is enough to cause, I believe, a meatball flag. Keith Gwinnett's going to be done for the day as a result. A frustrating end of the race, sounds like.
Wesley Woods knocking on the door of a podium finish right here.
That he certainly is. Has to get around Landon Orr. Two drivers. I think it'll make for a spicy finish. Wesley has the pace by comparison. Landon Orr knows how to drive that car pretty well and pretty defensively if he needs to. Question is whether or not it will be enough as they get into the closing stages here. 15 minutes and some change left on the clock as they work their way around the start-finish line once again.
GT3 AM points leader. Zachary Holden, black flag in the pit.
Yeah, I saw he is labeled as crashed. And I think he's coming in to sort of drive-through penalty as a result of that crash. It was at the same time that Keith went up and jumps to the pits, but it's a separate incident. This is what happened there.
Oh, just cooked it.
Big slide, yeah. And turn number one there. Gets it going again, but that off track and loss of control, I'm sure, is going to be a part of why he ends up there as well. It slides it a second time. You see it there. Catches it. But that probably, those two right there are why we see him pulling over into the drive there. Meanwhile, Andrew Slovak forced defensive once again. Nick Tiro going to go around the outside, or try to this time. Big defensive line out, Andrew Slovak. Nick Tiro looking for the opportunity there.
A lot of people, talk about the roller coaster and such, at Road Atlanta, the elevation change there, but quarter mile, this place has quite the abrupt hills and valleys to it.
Certainly does, and they're I think, less spectacular than we see out of the Road Atlanta or things, like the corkscrew at Laguna Seca. Very similar feeling, the amount of elevation change you have here. Makes for such a fun track as well. The off-camber corners you get because the ground is, falling away from you as you go up the uphill in the corner, turn 9, right before Portimao corner itself. And Nick Tyrrell still looking for this pass, but such a fun circuit as a result of how much elevation changes. The one thing I really love about this one in particular. Oh boy.
using up all the track.
And then some. Nick Tyrrell still trying to find a way around it. Unable to do so.
What more could you ask for? Start from pit lane, survive, catch the safety car, find yourself on the podium.
I think it's one of my favorite ways to race in officials is starting on the podium. Big lunge there from Nick Tyrrell to get the pass done. The Slovak gonna have the slower exit.
Oh man, I was
But
about to
will it
make
be enough.
the dumbest joke ever, and it would not have even
boy.
worked because it's not even the same thing.
Okay.
But this is just where my brain went. Again, as you know,
Okay.
we're about an hour and 20 minutes into this race, but
Mhm.
as soon as you said a big lunge, I was like, lunge so big it would have made the cut in Cool Runnings. But that's luge.
Oh my. Yeah, that is the luge. But I mean, like, if it, I guess it makes, yeah.
You can kind of
Oh.
see where I was going.
Trying to figure out
but-
how you. Yeah, I figure out where you're going, but I'm trying to feel like how do we bring this into land as like a good joke? I don't know that we can,
No,
but I see where you're going with it for sure.
we'll get there. I'll get there. Rookie season.
Give it a little bit of time. Yep, absolutely. Meanwhile, in the AM category, Tom Leeson, as well as Hayden Mamenga, back into a fight, half a second between the two of them. We've seen them battle a little ways before. Sergei Pirog in the background of this as well on his recovery drive.
His bumper, Sergey's front bumper there is really showing how his race has been going.
Yep, I think it's reflective of the moments that have happened there for him. My hope is that those moments don't get added to. Just under 10 minutes left to go in this 90-minute race.
I do believe we're looking at, as long as he holds on to, well, at least a podium finish, if Tom Leeson sticks it out where he's at, he should be
Certainly
your
does,
new
putting a
AM
gap.
points leader.
I think so. Math checks out. He should be taking over the points lead. Landon Orr, I think, will be not far behind, though.
Nate Sides lurking in the foreground there.
Yep. Looking to see what positions he can make back up. After having a tumultuous race, Sergei Pro getting really wide on the exit there, trying to get around these GT3 AM drivers. Tom Leeson gonna go side by side with him going into this. Gonna have to lift out and let him through. Oh, never mind. Sticking in it. Hey, Mamenga probably really happy about this. 'Cause it means that he doesn't have to fight him for at least a little while. Oh, both these
Everybody
guys are
running
a little
wild.
wide. Nate Sides. Yep. Trying to find his own way through it. Boy, howdy. Close action on track is going to be these four cars all in a row. Nate Sides making the choice to stay behind Tom Leeson. So he broke. Big use of the curb there. Doesn't get an off track though, because he didn't cut the inside or the outside. Of our 20 starters, 16 still on track. Most of them in a battle with consistency. Center on lap times. This is the closest series of action on track. These 4 cars still battling it out after 84 minutes of driving.
Hayden Maminga looking to hold on to, was that 5th overall? It's a big day for the AM leader.
Overall. Absolutely. Big day. And Sergey Perot's not going to make it easy. Lunges down the inside. Forces Hayden Maminga wide. Tom Lee's going to try to capitalize on it, but he's going to choke up as a result. So I'll run into that fellow Acura driver. A good result all the same, even to be in 6th instead of 5th. Some of these drivers still back into it. Nate Sides now trying to find his own way through. Tom Leeson looking to try to see if he can't snag a couple extra points here in the closing minutes. We've got about 3 laps left. Big look there. Hayden Maminga is definitely sliding that car around a little bit. I think we see a look out of Nate Sides this time. Oh boy. Yes, we do.
Thought we were going to see a 3 wide for a second.
Yeah. I thought we were. I also thought we were going to see Nate Sides slide into someone. Thankfully not the case. He is looking for the 2 in 2 corners. With that over under. Hayden Maminga is going to slow way down as a result. And Tom Leeson's going to try to see if he can't get by. Tom Leeson's got to look on the inside here. These 2 battling out for the lead in the class. Maminga. Slow exit there out of the hairpin. Sees that pass get done very smoothly as a result.
Some fantastic driving by all, a couple pros, couple AMs. Everybody just shaking it up and making the end of the race exciting here as we got probably, 2 laps to go?
I think so, about this point. See, and Dan Griffin comes back around to the start-finish line. Don't think it'll be the white flag this time by. It'll be the next time. So 2 laps left on the clock for these drivers. See if Hayden Maminga has an answer to Tom Leeson's pass on this lap.
Not only that, but can Nate Sides run down Sergi? That would be a pretty good pass for him to make all the points he can after a pretty tough race.
Certainly would be. Seems to be a couple tenths overall slower, but we'll see. He also had to battle with the GT3M traffic of the leaders there, so between the two of them, probably doesn't make that battle any easier. We'll see what that looks like when they get around to the start-finish line for the final time, or to start their final lap on the penultimate lap this time by. Oh man.
Getting
Heck
a little
of a
squirrely.
run. Yep, both of those Acuras are looking a little bit unhappy with how much their tires have been pushed. I don't know that either of them took tires. No, excuse me, they did. But
You can see the hands working hard through the windscreen.
white flag is going to be in the air this time by.
Hayden
Hayden
Maminga.
Maminga hit with a black flag.
That would be incident limits, correct?
Yeah, okay. Too wide on the exit of that final corner is what I think I saw there. Yep, that is what caused it. Wesley Woods going to be finishing on the podium in GT3M, potentially up in second, depending on how that black flag impacts Hayden Maminga's finish. As long as he keeps it on the track one more time around.
Oh, as Dan comes to take the checker flag, we got Nate Sides closing fast.
Ooh,
That gap closed up quick.
that it certainly did. Checkers out for Dan Griffin there, Nate Sides, and Sergey Perot, excuse me. Battling out to the last couple of corners. Is there enough momentum for Nate Sides to try to take a fight to Sergi in the closing stages? Not quite. Tomlinson's going to win in GT3M. Hayden Maminga going to come home in second. Still has yet to serve that black flag penalty. We'll see where that drops him in the overall order, as well as where those drivers end up. Wesley Woods going to come home P3 in that Columbia liveried Acura, alongside Landon Orr, who's not too far behind to end up in fourth. Rob Meyer is going to be the last driver, I think, to finish from the AM category, with the likes of Hem Schaefer, our final driver on track, who has yet to finalize their last lap time. It is a bit of a ways, not too many. It comes around the last couple of corners. Will be our final finisher for the day here. We'll get some race results. Talk to some drivers who have a desire to talk with us, and then wrap it up for the evening, I think.
Want the overall results, or you want to split by categories?
Let's split by category. Now, if you want to kick us off, I'm game for that.
Yeah. Start with the GT3 AMs here.
All
Tom
right.
Leeson, as you could see, it made that nice last few lap pass on Hayden, who eventually ended up with the black flag there. But Tom Leeson first, good victory. Wesley Woods finding himself
Back
P2
home
after
second.
Hayden. Yeah, after
Nice.
Hayden's penalty. Yep, a good margin there. Rob Myers just missing out on the podium. P4, Landon Orr 5th, Dale Marshall, Trevor Peterson, Zachary Holden, Keith Gwinnett, and Ken Duvall rounding out the AM right there. So switch over to Pro.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan Griffin going to come home the winner there in the pro category. Nick Tyrrell going to come home in second there after getting a fantastic run and getting past Andrew Slovak on the back half of this race after the safety car. And those two drivers round out that podium. Kevin Hayes just off of it, keeping ahead of Sergey Prok. Only by, I believe, like a second there as a result, I think, of another black flag. I'm not entirely sure there. That's what it looks like, according to the math. Nate Sides got to come home just after those two drivers. That or I just think that there's more space there than there was. Going to be just off the top 5. Tyler Roberts, Jim Campbell, Tim Schaefer, as well as Jonathan Schwartz. Going to be our 10 drivers, 9 of which will take the checker flag. Jonathan Schwartz told us earlier on, but he was only going to be here for part of the race. But still fantastic to see him mix up with those drivers up the top end of the spear, in that 100 Force liveried Ferrari.
I like it. I like stick.
I think Spear's a little bit more like the goal of that sentence, but
Make do with what you got.
Well. That's very true. So, closing thoughts as we see if you want to hop into the interview room.
Yeah, that was a great race. Sort of as we expected. Some little bit of contact being made. Quite a bit more than expected. Did we keep a count on the cars spinning?
I think I only saw 3 or 2.
Okay.
So I think you were more correct than I was here in the booth.
It's very, very close, but nice safety car mix-up brought the field back together and provided a very exciting finish. So overall, just another great race at Portimao.
Absolutely. I'm sure next time it comes around, we'll organize this in such a way that you can be on track and just commentating from the track as you're racing.
I like that idea.
All right. Well, do you want to end this one off a little bit earlier, or do you wish to see who's around?
Hey, I'm just here pushing buttons. You're still running the show.
That's fair. But I'm also valuing your input in this. So do you have one way or the other?
Have we had Tom Leeson in here? Has he been in here after a victory? He has had a victory.
Call.
Or wait a minute.
I think he has, maybe, but it's been a little while. Well, let's just do this. I'm gonna bring the whole AM podium here.
Hey, there we are.
All right, AM podium. Congrats on your victory, Tom Leeson, and the podium
Thank you.
for you, Wesley Woods, as well as Hayden Mamenga.
Yeah, shout out Wesley. Great race, buddy.
Yeah, great race, Wesley.
Mhm.
Ah,
How was it?
I'm fucking sweaty.
That was intense. I was pretty elbows out for a lot of people, I think.
Oh man, I think like halfway through the race, I'm like, yeah, there was no safety car briefing, so there's not going to be a safety car. And then like,
Mhm.
I had like 2 laps of fuel left, and the safety car came out, and I was like, oh fuck. Yeah.
Thanks, fellas. I believe I heard everything you said. I am still shaking.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
Great job.
Thank you.
nicely done,
Huge
man.
race.
Yeah, good job, Wesley.
I still don't even know what I placed.
Overall, you placed 10th, second AM.
Let's go.
yeah.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Tricolor.
It's a big day for Danger Goose Racing.
Oh, favorite.
Yeah, I'd say a 1-2 for Danger Goose, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hayden, again, like, I'm really sorry you got the black flag.
No,
With one lap. I was so looking forward to that battle. Like, we were
yeah.
almost the same pace for probably 4 or 5 laps.
That's the fastest I've ever ran this track. And I was in a flow state until that. I mean, that black flag, that fucking killed me. And that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt bad. So.
But you know what? You got away with it. Like, you're still on the podium.
I know. I think it's a 35-second penalty, not a 45-second. I did the quick math, and it's about 35 seconds. So. But that opening laps, I think I had like 5 consistent laps that I was wide in turn 1. If I just cleaned up like one of them, it would have been, I'd have been fine. But it is what it is.
Those last few laps were like we had the 2 pros and the 2 AMs mixing it up.
Mm-hmm.
That was sweaty. That was intense.
Yes. That was probably the most intense racing I've had in OMEC.
And I think this week is probably the best the Acura's felt all season.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's not saying much because the Acura really doesn't feel good anywhere, but
Yeah, it hasn't felt good at a lot of tracks, but I don't know. I felt like it was singing today.
Oh, it was definitely trying to.
I think yesterday my fastest lap was like a high 44. What the hell did I finish at? A 43.4. So I was definitely in some sort of groove after the safety car restart. That's the only reason why I was even close to you, Tom, is something clicked.
You had when I was chasing you.
Yeah, that was
we were yo-yoing back and forth a bit.
It's exciting to watch from our viewpoint. You guys put on a great battle, some good clean racing, like you were saying. Having a few of those pro cars come diving through there, mixing it up a bit. You guys did really well. That was awesome to watch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's fun participating.
Thank you. Wesley, how you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, Wesley, podium, second place. Let's talk to you.
Sorry, fellas.
On,
is it okay to get emotional for second place?
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Losing it.
You absolutely can.
Oh, I've been fighting for this, dude. Oh,
Hell yeah, man.
And just think, a couple weeks ago you were crashing out at Road America.
Dude, I felt like I was at 100% this whole race. Oh. Now y'all didn't get to see it. Finn and them got this. Finn, Nicholas, and all the viewers got to see it, dude. I've been putting some moves on this race.
I might have to go back and watch the broadcast then.
I'm gonna rewatch this broadcast for sure because there was definitely brave moves all around.
I will make sure I don't watch the last like 3 minutes, but I'll just cut it off at that point, and I'll just go to bed happy.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm assuming there was some other big dives all through the field today.
Oh yeah, there was points to where like I knew I was getting in the back of the grid, and I actually ended up at the back of the grid until we had the yellow. Thank God for the yellow. And then I somehow found my way through the field like that, and I had a big battle with Landon Orr. I am so surprised I got past him. Landon Orr, and then there was another driver. He was a pro driver. I can't remember right off the bat. I'm sorry, dude. But it was a fight to get around them. Like, huge.
Yeah.
Jim Campbell?
I believe it was Campbell.
Okay. Yeah, so there's some good battle in there. I don't think we caught all of it on the broadcast because there's also some good battling in pro at the same time that was going on between you and Landon or Wesley.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, it's all good. I'm here.
Yeah, I saved that replay. Wesley, I'll send it to you. You can rewatch it.
Please do. I've got to catch a bunch of those moves. That's definitely going in my highlight reel sometime.
So, Tom, do you understand why I screamed "fuck" now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
it
feel
was
that was
it's a
heartbreaking.
yeah.
Hey,
But
Going.
it is what it is.
thank you for the black flag, Hayden. I
You're
dedicated
welcome.
my second place to Colombia tonight, so it meant a lot.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. With
Just worked out in your
one
favor.
round left at Sebring next week, how are we all feeling about that?
I feel a lot better than Algarve since I don't think I've actually driven a lap in anger around this track before like Sunday night, so
Mhm.
I feel a lot better than this track.
I've had some time with good old Sebring and the Florida Flats. So I wouldn't say I'm prepared. I wouldn't say I'm gonna get as close as I did tonight, but I'm excited. It's gonna be a good race.
It'll probably be the one, unlike Nicholas Maynard here tonight at Portimao, it'll be the one I am so happy I'm in the booth and not on track.
I guess I could look this up. Never mind. I was gonna say, what time does the race start in sim?
In sim, that's a great question. What's the answer?
About
You can look it up. No, I'm
5:30
curious.
ish.
Okay.
Ends around 7-ish. So,
Okay.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna get that
Nice
night,
afternoon race.
baby.
well, hopefully not be blinded. Hopefully.
The sunset into Sunset Bend. Cool. Any last thoughts before I let you all get back to celebrating your podiums?
I got nothing.
Again, congrats, Wesley. Big race
Yeah,
today,
congrats.
man. Way to go.
Thanks, thank y'all very much.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
Thanks for the broadcast, guys.
Yep. Thanks for the
Take it easy.
broadcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Nick. Y'all have a good night.
You too, man.
And those were our AM podium finishers. All right. I think we can wrap up this broadcast here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think now is a good time.
Heck yeah. We're looking forward to Sebring next week to round out the season.
I am actually. I tend to enjoy watching the races at Sebring. I like driving it too.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's fun to watch cars go around there. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I love watching it way more than I love driving it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I am not a big Sebring in the sim enjoyer because it is just too bumpy and too flat and too boring.
I could see that. Definitely understand it. So,
but absolutely. So we'll be back in 7 days' time for our final round of season 15 of OMEC. Just 7 days' time. Thank you all very much for watching. Any final things to think about before we send off?
no, just it's gonna be tight to see where the points come out. It's gonna be a very exciting to see how it all shakes down, and everything is still up for grabs.
Absolutely. I say in both categories, the points are still open for anyone to come home the winner. We'll have to do some math beforehand to make sure that we have all the numbers and where people need to finish in order to be the winners of the respective championship. Because I think it's something I'd love to do this season. I don't think I've done before, given how close everything is. Yes, I am very anti-Sebring. Sorry, Chad is saying that I'm anti-Sebring, and that is very true.
Yeah, it happens.
We all have our tracks that we don't like. I don't think it's anything, But anyway, see you all in 7 days' time. I've been Fen, once again in the booth alongside Nicholas, who's doing all the fantastic production work for us this week. And we'll be back in 7 days' time for the final round of the season. And then we get into some off-season downtime. So
Perfect.
all right.